I like that beat right there. That's a nice beat right there.
Say hey, I'm pleased to meet ya.
Hey, hey,
Put your drink down, cause I wanna teach ya.
hey, hey.
Cut it up. All right, see
Cut it up.
that's my original song, Cut It Up. I actually cut that up a couple of years ago and just never let anybody hear it. But
She
so
cut it up.
we're back and we're
We're back.
talking about the
Gangs,
gangs
gang violence,
and
911.
the bad, I don't want to say bad parenting, but parents need to be more involved. We need the dads to stick around
You gotta whoop the
because
kids.
you got people out of control. I'm going to point out some things that a lot of you guys probably don't even know about gangs that I thought was very interesting. Okay, let me explain this. Okay, so when you have a gang, they have rules. Like when I was on the grand jury, a lot of these things I learned because we when you're on the federal grand jury, when a witness come in or a witness, we get to question the witness, and that's different than like regular petite jurors. So as a juror, we can ask them questions. So they actually have rules. So say for instance, this particular gang, like this case that just happened, that this gang member killed a baby and a lady was shot. He's gonna have issues with his own gang because they are against
Killing the kids and
they
the
are against
women.
drive-by shootings because innocent people get killed. So they actually have rules and things like that, and you're not allowed to just be shooting. They don't want, family is important, so they don't want innocent kids and parents and things.
Especially the women.
Right, their target is that rival gang.
Right.
That's it. And
It's kind of
maybe
like a mission, they go out and they say, okay, you need to go take care of this person, hit that person, and that's it. You don't touch the kids,
right,
and you don't touch the women for the most part.
And that's why, and I'm not saying all gangs are like this, but I know a lot of that I dealt with and that I questioned. It was a lot of Latin gangs, and they have those type of rules. Like if one of their members did a drive-by, whoever that shot caller is or whatever, they will address that because that's also bringing heat and attention to their set.
Blowing up the spot right there.
Right. So this guy that did this is probably going to catch heat from his own gang.
Oh, yeah.
Because an innocent child was killed and then someone else injured and things like that. And now it's all in the media. So now whatever gang this was, it brought attention to them. So
Straight up.
Not making any excuses for them, but this is, they actually...
It's like double penalty right there. Double the consequences, because you got to get it from your own people. Well, we're going to jump to the phone lines.
So we're going to take our next caller. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Hello, you're on the air. What's your name?
Estelle.
Hi, Estelle.
Hello, Estelle.
We are you're live on the air. We're talking about gang violence, and I gave some tips on how to call 911 successfully. I didn't know there was any rules with that, but apparently there is. So did you want to share anything? Have you experienced gang violence in your neighborhood or anyone you know that's in a gang?
Well, not that I know anyone in a gang, but I'm a mother of 7 and only 5 boys, and I never had that problem with my son because the way I raised him up was pretty much in the church. If they went next door or anywhere they went, they had to call me. I had to call me when they got there.
Mm-hmm.
I had their parents' number, and they had mine, so they wasn't allowed to go anywhere without me knowing where they were
Mm-hmm.
when they got older. And also, comment about I heard on the news about that went on.
Uh-huh.
And one guy had said on the news if they get the National Guard, different ones, in certain areas, I don't know if this can happen, that may cut down on a lot of the gang violence. Like the young lady said earlier, we thought this was kind of out of style. It kind of died down for a minute.
Oh, no.
Not.
Not at all.
My prayer goes out to the family, but I bet you if you put some of them on the front line, you know what I'm saying, they'd be pretty coward.
At war.
They're on the front
Right, exactly. That's a different story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the officers said that some you always have your gang members, the wannabe gang members that are more like talk or whatever, but they're actually, as you can see from this case, they're actually ones that they're down for their set, and from what the news said, it was two individuals and they were walking and they had a shotgun. So I don't think they would just casually walk to the store with a shotgun. So it just, you know what I'm saying? I don't see myself walking around with a shotgun. So this is a serious, like I said, I just served a year on the federal grand jury, and like 95% of the cases were gang cases that we were doing. And I'm actually extended for another 6 months until December on a gang case. So I might be called back for that particular gang case. I know here in California, I don't hear that much about Crips and Bloods so much, but I hear more about the Latin gangs. I can't name them, but I don't even remember. But it's a lot. It's not just because you're not hearing it. It's still happening a lot. So it's a huge problem. And like you said, you have 5 sons, but you made sure that they did X, Y, and Z, and that's what I'm saying. It goes back to the parenting, and the cases that we were doing, like if the older brother was in a gang and he had little brothers, he passed it down. So he brought his little brother into it. So it's like passed down. I mean, it came to that like it's an occupation or something. What do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a gangbanger. It's like that's your occupation. So, but thank you so much for calling in, Estelle. I'm going to take the next caller.
Thank you.
Hi, you're on the air. What's your name?
What up?
Uh-oh, I think I must have lost somebody. Hopefully that caller will call back.
Call back.
And we will continue this topic on gang violence. So, DJ K-City, while you're sitting here tweeting.
I'm tweeting away.
Do you know anybody in gangs? Have you lived in gang-infested areas with tagging? And a lot of people don't know what tagging is. That's graffiti writing, and it's decoded like it means something. I just thought it was just scribbles, but it's telling who it is and what set they're from, and sometimes what they've done. Yeah,
actually, from where I was from, we didn't see too much, tagging. It was a couple like, Crips, Bloods, those type of, gangs. But when you come, out to the West Coast, man, it's all kind of gangs. It's this and it's that, and it's a lot of tagging and spray painting in the restroom. They got to lock the restroom. They got to use coins and quarters and everything to get in the restrooms and all of that. And I see some taggings in areas that it's like, how did they get up there? Like, you risk your life to put and that means something. Like, you don't understand, like, after talking to these gang members, when you can tag in places like that and all that, that's like, it's like major right there. Right, you get major props within your set and things like that. Like, man, what do you do? Man, I was tagging up there at Taco Bell. What you know about that? Why was that McDonald's? I mean, I don't get it, but I'm like, can you retire with that? I mean, like, can you, when you unemployed from the gang, can you get unemployment? Or I don't get it. I had 27 Pizza Huts. Now what? How many you get? And how many you get? But you know what? And I'm gonna take the next caller in a second. Some of the gang members, and a lot of them will say, they don't even have family. The family that they have is the gang. Family. And some of them feel that's their protection. They might have been that kid that was getting jumped and beat up and didn't have friends, and nobody wanted to befriend them, but then the gang took them in. Mm-hmm. So you see what I'm saying? So that even though it's not a good thing, some kids feel like that's their only family that they have, and that still goes back to parenting and things like that. It's if you be a part of your kid's life and and try to teach them and put them in some sports, Pop Warner and things like that, then they wouldn't have to seek attention.
Out there on the floor.